There is only one perfect solution. There are clues that will try to trick our team.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Crazy Caleb, and from that sound you just heard, welcome to Switching Maze. So, in the previous tutorial I covered shifting maze, which is the exact same kind of concept, except this time, except with the walls move around based off of sounds. In this case, we're going to be basing this maze off of different colors of the border of the module here. So in this case, we have a whole bunch of set of different mazes in different colors. In this case, we have red, green, blue, magenta, cyan, yellow, black, white, gray, orange, pink, and brown. Now, if you remember, the border of shifting was brown, and if you happen to if you can't tell the difference between if you happen to get brown or a shifting maze, the way how you'll be able to tell is through this little color palette here. If you remember, the design of the module of shifting maze had a microphone. This will have a color, which you cannot interact with at all. It's just simply there to show you that this is switching maze. So what exactly do we do with this module? Well, it's the exact same concept of shifting maze. It's just we now have set mazes that we're working with here, but the colors will change. And how often do they change exactly? Let's see here. There is, however, it says here, move your way around the maze until you reach the exit cell. However, there is a third of a chance that the current dungeon changes color after you move to another cell. So if you were to say move up and it would change to yellow, for example, it would move up and then change to yellow. That's how the movement works. It doesn't change to yellow and not move. It still moves. So, for those of you who remember, we have to convert the seed down at the bottom to base 64. I'm going to go through this a little bit fast. I'm hoping that you guys understand base 64 and how this works. If not, I will briefly explain it. So we'll take the first of the two pairs. So this is going to be split up into 4 pairs, similarly to how I did shifting maze. And what we'll do is we'll multiply that. We'll get the first value, and we're going to turn this into decimal. So it's a capital Tango. Capital Tango is 19. So what we're going to do is 19 times this by 64 will give us that. And our second character will be Mike. We're going to add this value. So Mike is worth 12 in decimal. So we're going to add 12. And now what we're going to do, so we've converted this pair into base 64, from base 64 into decimal. We're going to modulo this value by 6. 1, 2, 2, 8. And that gives us 4 in this case. So on to the second pair. We have a lowercase whiskey. Remember that this is a base 64 alphabet. There is upper and lowercase letters in this case. So lowercase whiskey is worth 48. Excuse me, 48. We're going to multiply this by 64 and add a capital Bravo, which is worth 1. Not 12, minus 12, plus 1. 3073. 73. That'll be a 1. Our next pair is a lowercase Juliet, 35 times this by 64. And adding a capital Foxtrot, which will be 5. So 2245. Mod 6 is a 1. And lastly, lowercase Charlie is 28. Times this by 64. Plus lowercase uniform, which is 46. Adding 46 is 1838. We have, and now we have our 4 pairs converted from base 64 into decimal modulo 6. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pair the first and second numbers and the third and fourth numbers. So let's do that. And so now what we're going to do in this case is the first pair is our current position, so we're currently at 4, 1, and the second pair is our exit of the maze. which will be 1, 2. The top left, I've created a 6x6 maze, because this is what it is. It's a 6x6 maze. The top left is 0, 0. So this entire thing is going to be 0 indexed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move our way around the maze until you reach the exit. So what we're going to do, the first pair is the current position, and remember the first number in each pair is the row, and the second is the column. So let's figure out our current position. So I'm going to mark our current position with an asterisk, and I'm going to mark our exit with an exclamation mark. So 4, 1 is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going right 1. This is our current position right there. That's 4 rows down, and then right 1. And our exit is at 1, 2, right there. So now we need to figure out which maze we're looking at based off of the color of the background, or the border rather, and look at these mazes. And remember, it is the exact same thing as it is going to be a 0 index. So this is a pink. It's very important to also recognize that difference between pink and magenta. Magenta is a bit of a darker color. It's closer towards purple, but it's not exactly purple. Well, actually, there isn't a purple on here. So I think that this represents purple. But in this case, this one is a pink. So pink, so our current position is at 4, 1. So this is the exact same mazes that we're going to be working with here. And we want to be trying to get to this position. So you thought shifting maze was annoying. You're in for a treat. This is even worse. So in this case, we're at 4, 1. So we're down right here. If you can see my mouse, hopefully. And we need to get to 1, 2, which is up in that little dead end right there. So let's start off by going left and see what happens. Let's go left. That was permissible. The maze did not change. So let's go up. So we are now going to be right there. So we're going up. Still the maze has not changed. So we can go up again, one more time. And as you can see, the maze just changed right there. So now we're currently at 0, 3 in this case, which will be right, 0, 2. So 1, 2, we're currently right there. But now we're going over to the green maze. And now what we need to do is we need to go up, up, right, right, down, if we can do that. Let's go up. Okay, we're currently at 0, 1, right there. Let's go up. We're currently at the top left position. Let's go right. Let's go right. Went right twice. And now, since we're one position away, and the maze has not changed yet, we know for a fact that we can go down, and the module will solve regardless of whether the maze changes or not. And the maze did not change, so we actually got very lucky in this case. So now what we can do is, since we were on top of the exit, we can press Set to submit the module. Now the color will have a stroke with colors and not with the seed. So I might have to put a forewarning of an epilepsy warning. And just like that, the module solved. Let's take a look at another example, and I'm going to be a little bit quicker on this because it's essentially the same concept. So this is a gray maze right here. I know that for a fact because the white maze is definitely a lot brighter. You'll know white from black, white from gray. So let's do this again. For our first pair, we have a capital Romeo, and that's 17. 17 times this by 64. Plus a capital November, plus 13. So 1, 1, 0, 1. Mod 6 is a 3 for our first pair. And 8, 6 for our second pair. 8 is a 60, so 60 times this by 64, plus 6, so 58. 3898. Or, next up, once the light turns back on, so that's our current starting position. Our starting position is 3, 4. So let's actually note that down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. that'll be where we're at currently right now. That is a 1. That is a 1 right there. Or wait a minute, is that a 1 or is that an L? That is a lowercase L. It's very important that you know what the difference is between them. I have had cases where some of the zeros and the Oscars get a little mixed up. The 0 is a bit bigger compared to the Oscar in the middle section at the top and bottom parts. So you'll be able to, I think, recognize the differences between Oscar and 0. And obviously the capital O is bigger. So this is a lowercase Lima. So don't get those mixed up. That looks like a 1, but it's a little bit taller than it should be. So this will be 37 times this by 64. With plus the capital India, which is an 8. Plus 8. 2376. 2376. So our starting and our exit is going to be at 0. And then the fourth pair will be a lowercase Sierra plus a lowercase Tango. So 44 times this by 64 plus 45. So 2,861. Modulo that by 6 will be 5. So our exit position will be in the top right corner. So 0, 5. And that's where we need to go. Rather quite a nice distance away. I'd say that's pretty fair. It is also important to note that you can get lucky with this module and end up exactly where the exit is. The current position could be the exit. So there is that chance of happening. It is very nice when it happens, but don't expect it every time because it's a rare case scenario. So we're starting in the gray maze, and let's see what path we can take. That would be the closest to the top right corner. So we're currently, so the top right corner, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're currently right there. So we would be able to go right, up, 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 but obviously it won't be that easy. So we can go right. So we're currently at the far right side of the maze. Let's go up. Hopefully it doesn't change color. Up. And just like that, we actually got very lucky with this module. Now we can go up one more time. And thankfully we did not have the maze change on us at all. We can press set now. I'm just going to look away for the sake of it because it hurts my eyes a bit too, so. And just like that is a solved module. Let's take a look at one more example because I actually have been getting quite nice examples with this. So our starting maze will be yellow. Let's do the math for this. We have a capital Charlie. Capital Charlie for our first pair. Capital Charlie will be a 2 times this by 64 plus uppercase Foxtrot, which will be 5. So 133 modulo 6 is a 1. Lowercase Charlie, 28 times this by 64. Plus a lowercase Zulu, plus 51. 1843. Modulo 6 is a 1, so our starting position will be 1, 1. So right there. Whiskey. Whiskey is a 22. 22 times this by 6, 64. Plus a lowercase Charlie, plus 28. 1436. Will be 2, comma, what's our last example? That'll be kilo, which will be 10 times this by 64, plus 28, the lowercase Charlie. So 668, modulo 6 is 2. Huh, a rather quite nice example. So we go from 1, 1 to 2, 2. So this will be what our maze is looking like. However, let's see how yellow treats this position. So 1, 1 to 2, 2. We actually have a nice opportunity here. So we can go right. However, our maze just swapped on us. This is a magenta. This is what a magenta looks like. So we're currently in the magenta. We moved right. I would love it if it can give us a down. However, it is not the case. As you can see, we moved right we would normally move down in the yellow maze, but in this case, we moved right, so we're currently now at 1, 2. So now we currently we only have one option. We have to go up, left, down, down, and right, if we can get lucky. Then we can go left, then we go down, down. So we currently ended up right here, right one space before it, in case you didn't follow along with the maze. Now we're currently in the gray maze. And it would be nice, and indeed we can go right. So we're currently at 2, 1. So we can go right to 2, 2. And let's do that. And let's press set. Maze will have a stroke, or a seizure, or whichever. I'll try and evade for the personal sake of your viewers. And just like that, my friends, is a solved module. As always, thank you for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and once again, I tell you, don't get lost in mazes. Bye-bye.